What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave your comments. I bring to you today a special guest. We haven't had him on here for a year when we last saw him in Clearwater, but he has a big fight coming up next Saturday, May 22nd in Palm Desert, California. Or is it next Friday? Next Friday, I believe. Next Friday. BKFC 89. There was a fight scheduled for a championship. One of the men fell off, and he has stepped in on 2 weeks' notice. He's coming to go Rocky Balboa and shock the world. And I'm telling you right now, he's up for it, man. He's up for this, man. I bring to you Papa G, Michael Larrimore in the building. What's going on, my friend?
What up, baby? How are you, brother?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Talk about life, man. This is a pretty big whirlwind to have a title shot.
Yeah, man, it's a dream come true. I'm living out my dreams as we speak. I'm so full of gratitude. I'm so full of excitement, man. I got this fire in my belly. You know what I'm saying? And I got to let it out, brother.
How'd this come up, man? I mean, you got a fight you have Jamel Herring fighting Nate Maness. Apparently, he falls off because I mean, I don't know what happened to the guy. I don't know if you're familiar with what happened to him, but he's retiring, so obviously it's something serious. How'd this fight come to you? What did you call them? Did they call you? Did they call your management? How did this all happen?
Well, it was a regular Saturday morning, man. I started with my prayers, and then I gave my wife a proper good morning, if you understand what I'm saying. And I I laced up my running shoes to go ahead and get some road work in. And Victor texts me, he says, "Hey, Mike, what's your weight?" I says, "Well, to be honest with you, man, like I had to rest the day before, so I was like, it's not really what it should be. I'm like 5 pounds heavier than I would be if I didn't rest, but I'm about to go run, and here's what I will weigh. Why?" And he's like, "Well, I just want to make sure you can make weight if you get an opportunity." I'm like, "Of course, bro. I've never missed weight, and I'll never not make weight. You know what I'm saying?"
Mm-hmm.
So I go for my run, and then they give me the call, and then we get to chatting, and Jihad says, "Well, it can't be 136. It'd have to be 135." And I said, "For the strap, Jihad, is that what you're saying to me?" He said, "Yes, sir. We've been given an opportunity." And we wrapped up the conversation, man. I walked in with tears in my eyes and told my wife that God just changed our life.
That's pretty cool, man. That's was there any doubt saying it's a 2 week notice? I'm fighting a boxing champion who no doubt.
Zero, man. It just felt like everything that I had been praying to God about, and I felt like God was communicating to me was that something was coming up, anyways. With everything that had fallen apart in recent almost matchups, I knew God was going to do something bigger, and it just felt like the right thing to do to say yes.
Where have you been? It's been a year. I saw you fight in Clearwater. They got the Clearwater fight card come. You weren't on that card. Obviously, it worked out well because you weren't on that card. Because if you were, you might not be able to take this fight.
Right.
Um, but you mentioned fights falling off. I mean, how many fights have not come to fruition over the past year?
At least two, 100%, but really like three or four, at least on a low level. They offered me a fight last minute to save that Clearwater card, but it didn't come together. I think it was a money thing for them because I maybe asked for more
Hmm.
they were willing to offer at the time, which I get because it was a small show.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was also supposed to be on Blood for Blood. I was
Oh,
actually
okay.
told that I was going to be fighting Matt Guyman for that. And then
Okay.
they released a poster and I'm not on it. And then I hear from Victor like, "Hey, we didn't get the spot." And so I had to look inward as a man, and me and my wife had to have some hard conversations. And to be honest, man, like there was a couple of weeks where we thought, I think more so her than me, but the idea was bouncing around in my head, like maybe I'm not supposed to do this anymore. You know what I mean? I got a wife, I got two kids, and nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden, just like that, I chose to just start practicing gratitude no matter what, and thanking God and telling him He's enough no matter what. And out of that, came all of this. And I'm just full of gratitude, like I said already, bro. But I'm really, really excited to see what happens.
Were you? Did you have any injuries this past year that you were the one? So it's always the other guy that fell off.
So I think, um, oh, for me,
Yeah, for the fights that didn't happen, was it
oh
basically the
yeah,
other guy getting injured, or other guys? Was it financial
uh,
every time, or?
yeah. So I had some MMA opportunities, kind of they were offered, and then we couldn't come to agreements on it. I did take one MMA fight to just kind of scratch my itch. But it lasted a minute 30. I got the guillotine, and then I was like, damn, like I really want to scratch the itch now. All it did was make me want it more, dude. You know when
Uh
you
huh.
have food and it makes you more hungry?
Yeah.
That's what I felt. And so for the past 4, 5, 6 months, I really, really wanted to scratch that itch. And that fight was like, I think that fight was in early February. Yeah, it was on Valentine's Day. And it didn't scratch the itch for me, bro. So I've just been, as soon as I won that fight, I went right back to training and then went right back to just looking for the next thing. But it's actually when I stopped looking for the next thing that the thing presented itself to me.
So there's been a lot of change management wise, or shifts in what was going on.
Yes, sir.
You're with Shift MMA, and I know there's been like some type of a merger or partnership with All In Management here in South Florida. How'd that come about for you? Because I know all of you are individual fighters that make individual decisions. You don't just all go if you don't want to. How'd that come about, and what has your experience been so far in that change, and what was the reason for it on your end?
Yeah, I well, first as a man of faith, I had to take a look in the good book, and I had to spend some time in prayer and see what I felt God had to say about it. Because we weren't going down to do the signing immediately, so I had some time to think whether I was going to do it or not and make sure it
Hmm.
was a decision. But all I kept hearing was good things, and then me and all of the three-headed monster that were very close. But me and 300 specifically, we have a lot of deep chats, and he was just explaining to me their morals and their values and what they're looking to do for me as a fighter and as my household as a whole. And it just felt like the right decision to make. And then we made that drive down there and we linked up, and it was like I knew Victor for years. And
Yeah.
just the way he's made the efforts to have that personal relationship as well as the business relationship, just checking in on me as a man and as a fighter. It's a no-brainer, and you see the opportunity that he was able to secure for me, man.
So does it work that the training is still the same? These are still your coaches and all that. They just there's been like a cooperation with All In Management to help you get fights and other opportunities, right?
Yeah, so all Jihad and them have to do now, well, not all, like it's a light job, but they get to
Yeah.
focus being coaches now, and they don't have to worry about the management bit. And
Okay.
I'm seeing that too, bro, because I've never got this much of them on the coaching side, and it's been really encouraging to see. And their confidence in me is giving me that much more confidence in myself too.
How many fighters made that jump? I know it was you, Brandon Allen, and Jared Warren. I know Jared was supposed to be on that Clearwater card. I don't know if he got hurt or the other guy got hurt or something happened. Don't really know what happened there. But are there any other fighters from that camp that have made that move that we're not aware of yet?
It's just us three for now. Uh,
Okay.
Maybe there will be some more conversations to have, but I'm not certain. But I
Okay.
know all three of us are happy with it.
What were your thoughts when you walked in that building in Fort Lauderdale? It was
Uh,
different. Is that your first time there?
yeah, that was crazy. I was like, man, how much money y'all make, dog?
how much he makes. How much, 'cause that's it's real nice. I mean, I'm sure you got a tour of the whole basically the compound.
Crazy, bro. That place is fantastic. But it's reflective of those people. They're a bunch of winners, man. So it makes sense.
Mhm. What are your thoughts on obviously because they have a lot of fighters that there's a possibility at some point you may have to fight somebody within that same camp because I know there are fighters within that camp that are in your division. And what are your thoughts of that? Because I know for some people it can be a little bit of a sensitive topic, but the reality is this is still a business, and you guys are individual fighters, man, and you might have to fight somebody that you may not want to, but
Yeah,
Business is business.
business is business, man. You said it. It don't matter to me, bro. Like Ryan and I are friends outside of fighting. I still want to punch Ryan in his face, but just because it makes sense for business, dog. But outside of that, like I'll even let him be my barber after I whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying?
So so he fought in you bring him up. So he fought in Clearwater. He last fought prior against Justin Ibarola, the former BKFC bantamweight champion. He gets the win up in Clearwater, and you know I know you guys had some internet call out or whatever. Um, why?
It's just fun, man, and it makes sense to me. He's a Clearwater guy. I'm a Clearwater guy, and why not? He's a big name in the sport. He's done a lot. I'm about to be crowned world champion, God willing, of course. I respect the shit out of Jamel. So only God really knows, right? But I just like the fight with Ryan, man. And I like him as a person, and I think he'll make it fun for me. I think he'll sell it. And the chats we have uh personally are much different than what you guys see online.
You
So
can't tell us. You can't tell us that.
whatever.
You can't go Sean Strickland and tell the world, "Hey, I'm
Hey,
sorry."
all of it. So like when I say I'll whoop Ryan's ass, I mean that. But also when I say I love Ryan as a person, I mean that too. It's just business, bro.
You know, I got my opinions of this whole 135 thing, and I put it online because I thought that this was the perfect time to create a tournament,
Yeah,
and I said why I thought that
I
because
like it.
you know with you had Alberto Blas who was the champion, he leaves. You have Reber and Ibarola fight. I mean, they're ranked 1 and 2. They're undefeated against a guy with one loss to Blas. He got a lot of fights. And so it made sense because when they talked about having a tournament for that, I thought that was ridiculous. That didn't make sense to me.
Right.
But now Ibarola leaves, and you got a 1-0 versus a 2-0, which to me, if I'm a born and raised BKFC fighter, you brought in a guy, a boxer, you brought in a UFC fighter, and here you are giving them a championship fight. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a BKFC guy, I'm like, that's ridiculous, right?
Right.
So it just
That
it was. What'd you say?
that sorry to cut you off, but that to me made less sense than my fight because I'm 3-1 for the organization.
Mhm.
And
No,
I have
yeah.
credibility in actual BKFC than Nathan did. And that's not to knock Nathan. He has all credit elsewhere. You know what I mean? And same
No,
like with Jamel, he's world class boxer, but he for sure got privileged by getting that title shot at the gate.
and that was my whole point was like you got guys that are being raised up in the BKFC, and obviously I thought that a guy like AJ Rodriguez could have been a part of it probably until he lost to Armas last fight. Even then, he's probably still a top 8 guy in the division. Um, you know, but you could have had, at least in my from my vantage point, it was, let's get 8 dudes in here. It could take a year, but there will be no one arguing who the champion is at the end because they're going to have to run through 3 dudes to get there.
Right.
Whereas there might be people that have the opinion and like, hey, there was a champion. We got 2 guys fighting for a vacant belt, and now, you know, they want to fight. And,
Right.
and so, I mean, what do you say to that type of thought process? Because I mean, that was my opinion. I'm at that point where BKFC is at a point where where guys should have fights on their resume in the BKFC,
I agree.
not a random a boxer or an MMA fighter. You should have BKFC fights that solidify you as a legitimate contender. And this is not to say you're not a legitimate contender. You are, but it was just the way it went down. It was like, and then to get 2 weeks notice, that's a tough hill to climb. And it
Yeah.
puts you at a significant disadvantage for this fight. So what you're doing is is very, very commendable. And I mean, you're gonna take the opportunity. I mean, I don't know that anyone would turn it down. So what are your thoughts to that?
Yeah, I agree with what you said about the whole tournament thing. I think it would have been a great idea. It would have been a really good time for them to build it up and hype it up and do XYZ and market and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I think they wanted a champion because champions bring money and Jamel brings views and Nathan brings views. So it made sense for them, right? It made sense for them to get the views and the marketing and the money. And but you said it too though. I would have been a stupid man to say no to this opportunity. Although I will say if I was out of shape, my coaches would not have given me this. Because uh I'm not gonna name names, but there was fights I was offered last minute, and because I wasn't fight ready, we had to say no. Um,
Mhm.
and so them being confident in me just instilled that much more confident in me. And it's not arrogant. I
Yeah.
understand the task in front of me. I understand 2 weeks is crazy notice, but my first two wins for BKFC, mind you, they weren't boxers, were on 2 days notice. So 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 hours, whatever it is, dog. Let's handle some business.
So what's the next one? I'm sitting on the couch having a bonbon, and they call, oh, come down the street, man. We got to fight.
Hey, whatever, dog.
So obviously this is a life-changing opportunity, and yeah, no, you mentioned if you're not in shape, and look, they're not going to put you out there if you say I'm weighing 160 right now. I mean, you got to cut 25. I mean, maybe that's not even a lot. Maybe it's 170. I don't know what the weight would be. I don't know what the weight would be that would be like, nah, I can't cut this much weight in 2 weeks. I'll be a skeleton and I'll die in there more than likely. That'll be that's you're not going to put yourself in that position.
Not at all.
Looking at this fight, how do you beat this dude? So looking at this fight, how do you beat Jamel Herring? How do you beat this dude?
Uh,
How do you approach a fight like this? He's a boxer. Like he's a boxer, and
yeah,
this is bare knuckle. How do you attack a guy like this?
absolutely. I'd be a stupid man to sit here and say I'm gonna go point for point, box for box, go in a circle. Let's play the Olympic boxer game. No, brother. I understand that when it's time to get ugly, I got to make it uglier. I'm a much more physical man, but that's not to say I'm not a cerebral man as well. So he should expect to have to do some thinking. If he thinks he's just going to come in there and I'm just some dumb caveman throwing big punches and hoping I'm going to hit him, that's not the case. I might look like a monkey, but I don't fight like a. All right. All right. We have what we believe to be the perfect game plan to beat Jamel Herring in bare knuckle. That's it. It might not work in boxing, but he's gonna feel these big old monkey paws, and he's gonna thinking. I'm gonna make him think. I know he's gonna make me think as well. There's gonna be a chess match, but when it's time to get ugly, that's where I'll shine.
Does when you have guys like the ones that come over from other sports, whether it's MMA, boxing, because I don't, a lot of people think it's the same. A lot of boxers think, oh, it's the same thing. It's not.
Not at
We
all,
we 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 we've seen it. Like the one guy who I think has transitioned at an elite level, and I think you probably would agree, is Austin Trout. Like he has transitioned on an elite level,
bro.
but he was also one of the greatest boxers in his division. You know, big time boxer, be some of the greatest boxers in the world. W- Does it? There's their added motive. I don't like to say added motivation. That's a corny ass cliche thing to say. But is there an added feeling of I gotta show this dude that this isn't boxing. You can't just walk over into my hood and tell me and try to basically run shit on my block.
100%, bro. We've actually been saying that in the gym. Well, I'm not saying it. I'm putting the work in, but my coach has said that. They're like,
Yeah.
he thinks that you're easy work. He thinks he's gonna come in here and dog walk you. You're gonna put that dog on his leash. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tame that dog.
When do you leave for California?
Wednesday, Wednesday morning,
The fight is on Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
It's on Friday. So you're leaving Wednesday morning. So you've basically cut weight when you hop on the plane.
I mean, I'm already working on that, but the way I'm trickling down, I mean, obviously I'm just gonna be a sit like this on a plane. I ain't drinking nothing. I ain't don't nobody offer me nothing. We might fight, dog. Like but then I'll get off and I'll get the little lag off of me or whatever, and I'll get a sweat in and I'll make the weight cut look easier like I always do.
What has the conversations been like with your wife? Obviously, these are private conversations. But what are the conversations like with your wife when you told her I'm fighting for the championship? It's been a year. I haven't gotten a BKFC fight, and I'm fighting for a title.
As a household of faith, dude, we literally just we hugged each other, we cried on each other's shoulders, and we praised Jesus aloud. we thank them for the opportunity. And just like my wife is still on cloud nine. And of course, it's been a lot. Like I've been running around like a chicken with his head cut off, doing all this testing and shit, dude. But it's worth it. And she understands the sacrifice. Like she just shout out my wife, bro. She's doing all the extra stuff this week. She's working, and then as soon as she gets off, she's with the kids so I can go train. And I'm the one that puts the kids to bed, and she's been trying this week. It's just a routine we have,
Yeah.
but she stepped up, dude. And I'm actually the cook of the house too. Not like because she can't, but because I like to cook and I need to know what I'm eating also.
Yeah.
So I cook for everybody, even when I'm cutting weight, dog. And I looked in the kitchen the other day. This lady's cooking a meal. I said, "Come on, lady." So shout out my tiny dude. I love her. I wouldn't be here without her.
I mean, how old are your kids?
5.5 and 2.5.
Does the 5.5-year-old understand what daddy's doing?
Absolutely, and she loves it.
Did she get daddy's fighting for a belt?
I think she's coming along to the idea of, but to her, like, so I have a bunch of trophies from like wins in MMA organizations, and
Hmm.
the day she was like, "Oh, you getting another necklace?" And I was like, "Well, like a bigger necklace, kind of."
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah, that's more or less.
Do those things make you more emotional?
Oh my gosh, bro, yeah, like, yes, bro. When I'm backstage and my wife sends me a picture or a video of the kids sitting on the couch waiting for daddy to fight, I gotta reel it back in. But it fuels the fire. Like I can. It's not like I'm gonna go get sappy and not be able to punch a man in the face, but it fuels me.
Not because my son's graduating from 8th grade in a couple of weeks, and they put out some graduation stuff with these sappy songs that just absolutely rip me apart.
You cry,
He's
all that.
14 years old, start crying like a baby watching this. They don't understand. Like, I watched you from when you were like it's different. It's different. It's just different, and they don't get it. They don't get it. So it's like
Let's
it.
have it. You don't. That's incredible, bro. I'm happy for you.
No, before I had my own kids, before I had kids, I'm like, what are you getting so damn emotional about? Then you have kids, and you're like, okay, that's what you're getting so emotional about. I understand. I understand.
Every
So,
day.
how many people are going out to California with you?
Anwar 300. Jihad had plans already in play, so it is what it is. He'll be mic'd up in the ear.
Hmm.
Um, that's really it as far as I know.
Hmm.
That's plenty though, dog. I got my coaches, man. I'm good to go.
You know, the journey to get to this point. I mean, how old are you now?
28. I just turned.
28. Like what the journey to get to this point. You've had. It's probably been like this, like any fighter. It's been a roller coaster of ups and downs, and in MMA, and then you're in bare knuckle, and I don't know if you've ever boxed professionally or not,
Almost.
but what was that?
Almost.
Okay. But so just when you look back at the journey, people always talk about the journey to get to this point. Does that stuff like resonate right now when you're looking at the journey to get to this point? Because this is again the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah, I actually was just kind of having this inner dialogue the other day and talking to God about just the man that I've become to be where I am today. And I know, like, even just a year ago, I would not have been able to handle this properly. To be honest, when it came, like, all of the key stuff was thrown at me really quick. I don't think I was ready for it. I was physically, but not mentally and spiritually and emotionally. I wasn't mature enough.
Hmm.
And so, like, a lot of what you heard me say came from insecurity, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
And I don't have any of that now. I'm so confident in the right things, though. It's not like I'm confident in myself and my abilities, and like I'm just this freak of nature. Like, no, I'm a human, but I have great coaches. I have great resources. I have my whole church praying for me, bro. And I don't feel like I fight alone anymore. I fight with my family. I fight with my church. I fight for so many things other than myself. This belt doesn't matter, to be completely honest with you. I'm good in my life in all areas, but I feel like a world champion. And so I feel like just putting it over my shoulders solidifies what I feel already.
Have you had a chance to speak with any of the executives from Bare Knuckle Fighting, BKFC, or it's been all communications through Victor and Jihad and your team? Have you had a chance to speak to them and like, or have they spoken to you directly at all
Nuh-uh.
about the fight? No.
Feldman and I,
Yeah.
we very briefly FaceTimed like 2 weeks ago, I want to say, to talk about another matchup.
Oh,
And then I didn't hear anything about that. And here we are.
because you know he's gonna come in there on Friday and say,
Why'd you
"Light
fuck?
your fucking asses off,"
Yeah,
and give that inspirational pep talk to all y'all like he always does that you see on recording and the whole nine and light your fucking asses off and leave it all out there and give us a show. I mean, no, I know how he does it. It's dope and I love it because there's still a familial feeling when it comes to BKFC, even when you're fighting other guys in the you're fighting guys, but there still is that you're part of the growth of an organization that what 7 8 years ago didn't even exist.
yeah, bro. Like me and my homies used to joke about an organization like this in high school because we would just do it anyways. We would just put
Yeah,
hammer beat each other up, and I was like,
you
man,
told me that. I remember you told me that. That's why.
yeah. So I was like, bro, if we could just go make money one day, and then I'm making money too, that dog.
How do you see this? How do you approach a fight like this? I mean, I know you can't give away strategic approach to it, but how do you approach a fight like this overall? You have a boxer. You're a bare knuckle guy. Like my belief is you gotta make that crap ugly. You gotta make it dirty. You gotta because if you're fighting at distance, it's not the best. It's not the best situation for you. I'm gonna make this a grimy ass fight. But is it a one where where maybe in your again I can't I don't want to you don't have to answer this, but is this like a I'm gonna drag you to deep water, or I'm gonna put you out fast?
He,
Whatever happens, happens.
he'll last as long as he lasts, man. But
Hmm.
I'm more focused on my strengths and less about his attributes. I'm
Hmm.
gonna utilize the game plan. I'm gonna trust my coaches, and I believe the finish will come in 3 rounds or less, God willing.
Okay. You got any final words for your opponent, Jamel Herring?
God bless you, brother. Be safe travels. Thank you for accepting the fight. Still, I'm sure it was a whirlwind for you. I respect you. Let's toe that line, my man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Papa G Larrimore. He's fighting for the BKFC Bantamweight Championship of the World next Friday night in Palm Desert, California. BKFC 89. If you're in the Palm Desert area, go get your tickets. At least you don't have to sell tickets, I don't think, because it's like not really. There's no ticket selling going on here. So, go grab your tickets. If you're not, make sure you turn on the BKFC app. I presume it's going to be on that or the Zone or one of those channels, and check out this fight. This is for the BKFC Bantamweight Championship of the World. You can also follow Papa G on Instagram. What's your Instagram on Instagram?
Papa G underscore MMA, my friend. It should
It'll
probably
be
be FC, but whatever.
Yeah, it'll be in the description of the video, so do follow him there. But man, Papa G, I appreciate you, man. I thank y'all. I wish you the best. Go do your thing, man. All
So
right, that's it for this one of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now the podcast. Come on now.